my shoes are here. Thank you. Why do these shoes feel so heavy? What? Stones?
There's another complaint. Some customer called Tannya had ordered a pair of shoes. She got a box of rocks instead. There's a second complaint in the month. We need to change the supplier.
Yes, but no one listens to us here. I've already tried telling Hitler about this, but she never values my opinion. She is always busy licking the super terror's boots.
Then we received another complaint today regarding the same supplier. I think we should lecture the supplier.
And who asked you about your opinion? Can't you see the CEO is in today? Have to go and get the presentations ready. May I come in, ma'am? Yes. Hi, ma'am. How are you doing?
What do you want?
Ma'am, my juniors just told me actually there was a complaint, a second complaint with the same supplier.
The supplier is one of my closest friends. Ask your subordinates not to interfere in this matter unless they want to get fired. Anything else?
No, ma'am, that was all.
Leave.
I'm never ordering from Aladdin ever again. I'm going to delete this app right away.
What you just saw is what normally happens in a typical organization. The leader is always the king. Now imagine if the scenes had been different. If Shalina was ready to listen to Saeel, and if Saritha was ready to listen to Shalina, then everyone's voice would have been heard in the organization, and they wouldn't have lost Tannya as a customer. This is what the philosophy of servant leadership is all about. Coined in the late 1970s by Robert Greenleaf, servant leadership talks about taking the typical hierarchical system and then turning it upside down. Here, the notion is to change from "I'm your boss, serve me" to "I'm your servant, let me respect and serve you." It is a philosophy that helps in empowerment of an individual and then helps in the growth of the same. There are 10 attributes to servant leadership. Initially, is the art of listening. Then we have empathy and the touch of healing. We have awareness, persuasion, the concept of conceptualization, and then foresight. We have stewardship, commitment to the growth of the people, and but last but not the least, building a community to grow upon. There are multiple surveys out there which talk about the best places to work for. The Fortune magazine's top 100 best place to work for is an example of one such survey. It is typically seen that the top 10 companies that are featured in this list are the companies that take in servant leadership. SAS, which is often touted as the best place to work for, is an example of a company that takes in servant leadership. Here, they have a flexible work culture that helps the employee to accommodate his life occurrence along with his work. Another example of a company that takes in servant leadership is that of Starbucks, the largest coffee chain. In Starbucks, they have a culture of openness. And apart from openness, the employees always serve first and the employee comes first. So there are quite a few companies who have become successful just by following servant leadership. The Toro Company, the Men's Warehouse are just a few examples in this list. But now for a moment, let's go back to SAS. SAS has been reading over all other corporations as the best place to work for quite some time now. How did they do this? The answer is pretty simple. They had an insight, a very non-traditional one at that. The insight was this: employees constantly and positively responded to situations where they are treated fairly, they are valued the most, and they are individually given opportunities. And with this, they have become the best. So what do these companies or what do these examples prove to us about servant leadership? The answer is pretty simple. To start with, servant leadership impacts on all those processes which is important to a company. Second, people start trusting their leaders more. The organizational leaders are treated better. Third, everyone has a voice in the organization. Fourth, team activities work much more smoothly. And fifth, people start displaying organizational citizenship. All these points cumulatively help in uplifting of a company, and the company becomes a much more better place to work for. But the sad fact remains that most of our Indian companies still do believe in the hierarchical system. They believe that the boss is the king and the employee is just a subservient. What is the ultimate effect of this? We have employees who are not willing to work to their full effectiveness. Now in this modern world, it's high time that we apply a philosophy that's been there since the late 1970s, the philosophy of servant leadership. As I've explained, this will only foster a better tomorrow, and all of us are benefited from this. I do hope that you would employ this in your organization.